Have you ever spent ages creating the perfect webinar poster, sent it out into the world, and then nothing? Just crickets? Yeah, you are not alone. Today we're going to get to the bottom of this and break down how to design a webinar poster that doesn't just look pretty, it actually gets people in the door. So let's start with the big question.
You know the feeling, right? You've got a great topic, an amazing speaker, you put all this work into the design, but for some reason it just falls flat. It's super frustrating. Well, it turns out it's usually not a dozen little things going wrong. It's almost always one massive, single reason. And there you have it. This is the #1 poster killer. We try to cram every last detail onto the page, thinking more information is better. But what happens? Our audience gets hit with a wall of text. Their eyes glaze over, and they just keep scrolling. The fix for this isn't about finding a better font. It's about having a better strategy. All right, so let's build that strategy. The very first step before you even think about opening a design program is to lay the groundwork. It's all about getting crystal clear on what you're trying to achieve. You've got to be disciplined here. Ask yourself, what is the one thing this poster needs to do? Is it to get registrations right now, or is it just to build some buzz? And who are you talking to? A poster for university students is going to feel way different than one for senior-level professionals. You need to pick one goal, one audience, and one single action you want them to take. Everything else flows from that.
Okay, so once you know what you're trying to say, the next question is, how do you organize it? This is our secret weapon against that information overload we were just talking about. It's all about creating a blueprint for clarity, what we call an information hierarchy.
Think of this as a roadmap for the reader's eye. It's designed to answer their questions in the exact order they think of them. First, what is this? That's the title. Next, why should I care? That's your value proposition. Then, who's speaking? Speaker credentials. Okay, I'm interested. When is it? Date and time. How do I sign up? Call to action. See how that works? All the other stuff, like logos, goes at the very bottom because it's the least important piece of the puzzle.
So, we have our strategy, we have our content structure. Now we get to talk about the fun stuff, the actual design. But here's the key. Don't think of design as just making things look good. Think of it as a toolkit you use to make your message even clearer and more powerful.
And a huge part of that is the language you use. It's so tempting to use vague, hypey marketing phrases like "don't miss out," but for an educational audience, that can actually hurt your credibility. Instead, be specific. Limited seats available creates that same urgency, but in a much more professional way. You're not selling them something, you're offering them a valuable opportunity.
Now for a super simple but super powerful design rule. When it comes to color, what's the magic number? 3. That's it. Stick to a maximum of 3 main colors. This one little constraint will instantly make your poster look cleaner, more professional, and a whole lot easier to read. And here's the second magic number, 2, as in 2 font families maximum. You might use one for your big headlines and another for the smaller body text. That's all you need. Trying to use 5 different fonts is one of the fastest ways to make a poster look cluttered and, honestly, pretty amateurish. Keep it simple. All right, a few other quick hit principles for you. Always use high contrast colors, dark text on a light background, or vice versa. It's all about readability. Don't be afraid of white space. It gives your content room to breathe. But maybe the most important tip on this list, check it on a phone. The vast majority of people will see your poster on a tiny screen, so you absolutely have to make sure it works there.
Okay, so we've built a beautiful, strategic, well-organized poster. But all that work is for nothing if it doesn't do its primary job, getting someone to go from just looking at the poster to actually becoming a participant. This last part is all about making that happen.
Your call to action cannot be an afterthought just tacked on at the end. It needs to be a star of the show. Give it its own box, its own space, so it's impossible to miss. And you have to give people 2 ways to register: a high-res QR code for anyone on their phone and a short, simple link for people on a computer. Then, right beside that link, you can add one last little nudge, like free registration, to remind them of the value.
So your design is done. But wait, before you hit send, you have to run it through a final quality check. Here's question number 1, the 5-second test. Show it to someone for just 5 seconds. Can they tell you what the webinar is about and what they're supposed to do? If not, you've got some simplifying to do.
Okay, question number 2, and this one's critical. Pull up the poster on your own phone. Can you read the title, the speaker, and the date without pinching and zooming? Be honest. If you have to work to read it, you've already lost. People will just give up and scroll away.
And now for the final and maybe most important question. Where does your eye go? Is the call to action, the register here button, the QR code, is it immediately obvious? If you have to hunt for it, it's not working. A poster without a clear call to action isn't a registration tool. It's just a nice announcement.
You know, this quote really just nails it. A great poster isn't just a list of facts. It's intentional, it's disciplined in its design, and most of all, it's completely focused on the audience. It's about clear communication, not just decoration. If you can get that philosophy right, you won't just be making posters that look good, you'll be making posters that actually work.